How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Great Ace Attorney Resolve Blind. So, last time, we dragged Mr. Trevor up to the stand, and we basically are claiming now that he has an accomplice because of the two bird cages that were switched. So, yeah, let's freaking nail this guy.
Let's get him.
Objection!
All right, he doesn't agree. An accomplice now. Well, then I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. Yeah. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Fucker.
I don't want you to slander me, though.
Well, counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter? What do I do?
I don't know.
At the moment, and this is a little more than a hunch on my part, I don't know for sure if Trevor had an accomplice, or if he really is the culprit here. I definitely said Trevor.
Trevor.
One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear as the lawyer. So what's my stance gonna be? Did Trevor have an accomplice, or not?
Back
Okay.
down.
So if he had an
Back down, we
accomplice,
can't
it would have to be somebody in here.
Yeah, that fucking little German kid.
Yeah. Bohemian, but he doesn't have a fucking name.
Bohemian, but it's probably Madame Tussbells, to be honest with you.
She did have the waxwork.
She had the waxwork, and like, she literally has a waxwork copy of him. So maybe she's like a fan. I don't fucking know. Maybe he's a serial murderer and fucking.
Yeah, I mean these two are definitely connected because Enoch Trevor did take the waxwork from her at exhibit. So that's one way. I do think it's
she
weird
also
that...
only. Oh, she also only does waxworks of people that have like killed people.
Yeah, and then for Dr. Scythe, she's just being really. She really did not want us to investigate.
Yeah.
Which was
so it's one of those two, I think.
It was Iris.
Yeah, it was Iris.
All right, I definitely think it's gonna be one of them. The defense is ready to name Mr. Trevor's accomplice. Lie.
Me.
Somehow, the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But that inconsistency itself is a clue. Counsel. My lord? You have received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Trevor's accomplice? Alright, we got a 50-50 shot. Who are we banking on?
I feel like it's Madame Tussbells.
Take that!
Who is this person? Someone intimately related to the crime, my lord. And someone you surely wouldn't say you don't know. Yes, thank you. I'm aware of the person, obviously. But on what basis do you claim felonious involvement?
I don't need the attitude, Your Honor.
Well, that was wrong. You surely wouldn't say you don't know, would you?
Of course I wouldn't say I don't know.
Well, kill yourself. Firing squad's outside. No, wait!
That is how they did it back in the day.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Guilty.
Kill me!
I'm surprised we haven't had a juror segment yet. Well, that was ass. Albert Hambrain's like, damn, my lawyer fucking sucks.
Damn, that's him? I'm cooked.
Oh, I really hope I don't get convicted. Oh, never mind, I was.
And that's the last thing I said before I went to jail for 5,000 years.
Alright, well, if it's not her, then it's gotta be Dr. Scythe.
Put the kid on the stand.
Name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nepalese friend? I didn't even get to say my answer yet.
Hell up. Yeah, how do you even know I'm wrong?
Surely fear does upon your tongue now. It's a little late for that.
I'm gonna bind your tongue with my tongue, bitch.
Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. I already did that once by exposing government secrets.
I'm sure it'll be all right, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Miss Susato.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
What?
Alright then, here goes. Not sure what the hell that was. You kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Counsel. Now. Hold your horses. The person who colluded with Dr. Drebber, Mr. Drebber, in order to carry out this wicked crime, is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe. What the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Scythe? The head of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim. Are you insane? We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It can only have been that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. You're all idiots. Alright. You got a nerve, lad. Standing up there, dragging the yar's name through the mud. I didn't mean to. Can you shut the hell up? I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker up there. How dare you call her a criminal? My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. Well, how clever. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem? What do you mean?
Oh my word.
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? This is where the waxwork comes in. What? Certainly if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must also have contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means that there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Osmond. That's true. My argument is that there were 2 bird cages, and there must have also been one person inside each. But I don't know if I've got an answer to this yet, have I? What can I do to reveal how this body double stunt was achieved? Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Aspen's body double. Good gracious, evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would only have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion, some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was the waxwork.
Take that!
We know that the victim, Mr. Osmond, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage, and therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the Crystal Tower. Yes, counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events. And that body double is inside the second birdcage was in fact...
Me.
Yeah, it was me.
It's all right, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. To be convicted. Just steel yourself and come out with it.
Thank you, Mr. Sato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there. It was just it was just sitting in the courtroom the whole time. Damn. What? Got him.
Objection!
What the fuck? Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nibbity's friend. I don't want to. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. Fuck. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
I know. You started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you moved on to indicting Waxworks. Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? Why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Trevor. Don't do that. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Trevor abducted this model from Madame Tussbau's. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Well, now we know why he took it. Then the timing. Is this true, Mr. Trevor? At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Trevor would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now, the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Osman. Ugh. Got him.
Objection!
Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience. And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide? The jurors are stupid, so I really don't care what they have to say. Wait. Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord. No,
My lord, I'm scared. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting I'm this guy. If you need to speak, if you please. Oh, I
No.
need to speak.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement.
No, they
We want
haven't.
this man dead.
The only person you talked to was the woman next to you.
I know, literally. She's my only colleague.
Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leadings for the court to hear now.
Guilty!
All right.
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Guilty!
Kill me!
Wow. So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. I knew that was gonna happen.
We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way, I'm quite sure.
Yes, I agree. I'm gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual, and see if I can persuade them to change their minds. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman? Mr. Foreman.
Fucking this guy. We are, my lord.
Very well.
I'll sit here and stare at him with a blank stare, and I'm like, Andy, why aren't you reading this?
In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear that the grounds on which each of you have decided the defendant is guilty of the crime is what he was fucking charged for, I guess. What have you got for me?
I've known that woman for years. She'd never been accomplished anything.
How do you know? It's utter nonsense to think those two will ever be conniving with one another. Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole is nothing to do with the coroner, is it?
What else would he have used it for?
Oh, I have had my own problems with members of the police, and I do not trust them much.
I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture.
Accusing someone without the right evidences is not a proper job, is it? I won't have it.
Okay, kid.
Shut up, Corn.
Corn cob. Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion.
given that his face is obscured and his build in no way resembles that of the victim. I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity as suggesting it's Mr. Asmund's body double.
Yes, the applause is deafening. And yes, I know it seems extraordinary. But that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling. It's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this model.
Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean?
Yes, I'm convinced. It's something far more significant than whether or not this model looked like the victim.
Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Yes, agreed. I have to find a way out of this.
If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination.
Yes, my lord. I'm gonna pimp slap the jurors. Alright, you idiots.
Hold it!
The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason.
I'm a copper, lad. So copper's discretion to bend to the rules sometimes when needs must. What's wrong with
What?
that?
That's not... Where do I
Why would you
start?
admit that?
I've been working at the yard for 40-odd years.
That's even more than I thought.
We've only had a metropolitan police service in town for 70 years ago. Of course, times have changed. Public didn't trust coppers back when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime, and we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did. Forensic science was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution.
Dr. Scythe, you mean?
That's right. About 10 years ago now, it was, when I was still a youngish bobby on the beat. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And now look at her, head of the forensic investigation team. And a woman, no less. Well, you won't hear me complain. It's already all dreamt up back then, I tell you.
Could you tell me without holding that gun in the air?
And saying the wildest fucking shit.
We were all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of him we were, full of him.
That's coming across loud and clear.
Hold it!
Put that down. We're only just starting to understand this case. Hey, idiot. I'm talking to you. What are you reading there, sir?
I'm ignoring you. The man behind those murders on the Solar Pond Street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for you.
What does that have to do with literally anything?
Yeah, I know.
That's really not relevant to this case, is it, you moron?
I just wanted everyone to know my opinion. You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Scythe in charge of examining the bodies,
Shut up.
and it was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible.
Oh.
That's right. Oh, that woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against
I'm
crime.
gonna fight you.
The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of old tosh.
I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around.
I know, what the fuck?
Hold it!
Why would you assume that?
Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has
Swindler.
no relationship with the woman, does he?
True. As it stands, we don't know of any connection.
Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxwork.
Romantic?
A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know.
I don't care. Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to.
One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there.
This
He's
woman,
taken.
maybe more astute
and
than I've
gay.
been giving him credit for.
If that's the woman's stance, she's fucking weird. Then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Scythe would be enough.
Yes, I agree. As soon as we even have a whiff of a connection, she'll be the first to know. Alright, magician.
Hold it!
What sort of problems?
Oh, let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street.
Right, I see. Left.
Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. Quotes. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like. But the police use us as any excuse to make our lives difficult. Shut the fuck up. Stop doing that. You're gonna Russian roulette that kid. Sometimes they even cook up stories to extort monies from the poor. Monies.
Well, that's definitely not right.
Yes, and it is why I say if you trust the police, you will have trouble. But here you are, claiming this waxwork model was stolen to star an illusionary spectacular inspector. The idea is so wild, I think I will take my chances and believe the authorities on this occasion.
This is how the public at large view Scotland Yard, is it?
Our own police force in Tokyo is not even 20 years old yet, is it? Perhaps we should view what's happened here in London as a measure of what may happen at home.
Yes, like a Scotland yardstick. Haha.
That's really
I
funny,
wonder how
actually.
policemen would feel listening to the way the jury speaks about the force. I'm sure he'd have a word or two to say in response. I just decided to not engage in his little quip.
Hold it!
But you claim the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick.
That I did, but there's more to one way than pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there?
Sorry?
I grant you, given that this cage appeared from the midst of an explosion, there'd have been no need to use a real person. But if waxwork had been used, the culprit could at least have the decency to make it look like the victim.
I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency.
The point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's not science.
Okay, pal.
I suppose we should expect less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. But perhaps this means that his mind could be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence.
Evidence that the Professor Waxwork was inside the birdcage. Can I produce that or not? Not yet, probably. Well, I can say quite categorically, sir, that we have no such evidence at the present time.
That much was abundantly clear before that brassy proclamation, you idiot. Why can you count on the fact that I shan't be changing my leaning?
Oh dear, that proclamation was even brassier than yours, Mr. Naruhodo.
If only we had some evidence, things might be different, though. And you.
My cord's on the table.
I've got to ask, put that away. Why have you brought that corn into court with you?
Now there's butter all over the banister.
Damn it.
Colonel Cobb, he's been growing back on the farm. Picked him off on the way into town. He's a proper nibbler, he is.
Proper nibbler. Yes.
Proper nibbler.
The nibbling seems to be taking quite a while. Maybe you can wait till after the fucking trial.
I don't like the sound of that. You need colonels at all times like these.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
rip the
hold
freckles
this
off your face.
No. Whenever I'm somewhat big to decide, the colonels always point me in the right direction, see?
You're talking about your cob of corn?
Nibble, nobble, guilty, bubble, nibble, nobble, guilty out.
What the?
Nibble, nobble, nobble, guilty, bubble,
Nibble,
nibble,
nobble,
not
nibble,
guilty
nobble,
out.
nibble.
Nibble, nobble, guilty, bubble, nibble, not guilty out.
What are you doing?
Bruh.
I hate you.
How's that corn all gonna reload? That's crazy.
Perhaps it's akin to fortune telling with flower petals like people do back home.
So Professor Hitterbrain's fate is to be decided by a cob of corn? Could you not at least wait until we have more time to find the truth before deciding on the defendant's guilt?
I don't know about that. My time's awfully full already.
Amazing. I get it. Maize. Corn.
Nah.
I know it seems a little far-fetched to think that the waxwork model of the professor was in that birdcage. But on the other hand, it explains a lot.
If there really is a reason why that particular waxwork had to be used as Mr. Asmon's double, we must do everything we can to make sure the jurors understand it.
The truth is, I'm sure that's the key to this, but it's the most puzzling part of it too.
In that case, you should see what additional information you can glean whilst trying to change the juror's mind. If you can read a book whilst eating a rice cracker, Mr. Naruhodo, I'm sure you can do this.
Right. Yes. Alright, so we need to go back to you. No.
Hold it!
So that way I can interrogate the other guy.
Not in my day.
Back in
Back in my day.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole?
Who are you calling a mass murderer?
You
Sorry, my
Minecraft.
mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him.
I don't look anything like the man. You want to be locked up, Sonny?
Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we should move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do. Put the gun down.
Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this.
What was it like, sir?
We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then. What?
Respected you.
No one would have called a coroner into question with them days. The coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Cody Stevens put our name to it. She was the best of the best, and the apple of the force's eye.
Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens?
Sorry, gotta be carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Seiss' maiden name.
Her maiden name? So that was before she was married.
Of course, yes, silly me. It's Seiss now, isn't it?
Stevens? I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Have we? Stevens?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's anybody here named Stevens.
Ah, yes, Cosima Stevens.
Maybe here? No. I don't know. I can't remember.
What about that? No.
No. And redacted.
Oh!
Oh, wait. Okay.
Written in ink.
But then... Okay.
Anyway, the point is, there was the great days of policing, not like now.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name?
Well, yes, I don't see why not.
Got him.
She was Courtney Stevens back when I knew her, of course.
Legendary coroner, even then. Alright, let's see. So somebody... That doesn't really help me.
I still want to know why you let a fucking child in here.
I know. The hell? Grab some random kid off the street. Probably doesn't know what's happening. Alright, so I can't present anything. I know his statement has to be one of them. Well, yeah, I guess the waxwork would have something to do with her, because she put him behind
Yeah.
bars. Or she worked on that case, I guess.
Objection.
Objection.
The two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious. Whose statement do you refer, counsel?
So, juror number 2.
Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you?
I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to
No.
light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before.
Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But, oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean.
Dr. Scythe's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it.
My goodness, evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling.
Counsel, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim.
Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. It's gotta be...
It's gotta be that.
I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago.
A 10-year-old autopsy report. What relevance does that have?
It's, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor.
Oh no.
The Professor? Isn't that kind of weird? But the man was a capital offender, so... That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens. Got him.
Oh my, Courtney Stevens.
Strike a light.
It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber was very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Tuspel's. A waxwork that doesn't, in fact, resemble the victim, Mr. Asmund, at all.
And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events?
Absolutely. I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover between Dr. Courtney Scythe and Mr. Enoch Drebber. What do you say to that?
Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is all most extraordinary. We are surely obliged now to explore this further.
Haha.
Yeah, get fucking roasted, you bitch.
Quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best coroner. It was like this in my day, but we're still here to uphold justice in the end.
Alright, that's two of them. It's the professor. That's what links us, the frightful swindler and the coroner. So
We're not done here yet.
Alright. So it's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with each other. I've had my own problems with the members of police. Seen no proof that the waxwork was cage. I think it's gotta be. Hold it! Because the glass was in the clothes. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir.
Oh, I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here.
So you don't trust anyone in black. Looking in the mirror must be very trying. I do have some evidence that proves the waxwork was inside that birdcage. Namely...
Take that!
What's that? A piece of glass? Those are usually thick for glass. Do you want me to eat the glass?
Yes, I do. It's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass, though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower.
The crystal Holy smoke!
Exactly. The centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through the window of the special glass.
From whence this small piece originated. Is that it?
Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you.
No. Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it. In light of what you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter.
In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now, please. The presence of the piece of glass leaves me in a little doubt the waxwork was indeed inside the birdcage. Oh, if this fucking fly doesn't get the hell out of here. Alright. Alright, let's see. A piece of glass leaves me in a little doubt the waxwork was indeed inside the birdcage.
Objection!
You too. Oh. Oh, if you could put down your corn for a moment, juror number 5.
You mean me?
You pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence. But the accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror sitting beside you.
Dude, is that right?
Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument?
I didn't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest.
This is what happens when you have a child. Here. When you have a child here.
Yeah,
I mean,
child,
yeah, probably
period.
if you have a child.
Of course you don't.
If I can interject here.
Please do, sir.
Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me as a man of science not to pursue the matter further.
Well, me too then.
Sorry?
If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See, I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's been stuffing between the ears.
Bruh.
That could have turned into popcorn.
Wow. Success! If you can call it that.
Thank you, counsel. That will do. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time. And the trial must continue.
We did it! Hooray!
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Another wonderful victory.
Yeah, basically awesome. Cosmo hasn't said shit this whole time.
I don't know.
A waxwork of the despicable professor. Used as a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it would appear that it does at least warrant further investigation.
It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Trevor and Dr. Scythe. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link.
I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't.
Prove that
The
I'm a winner.
truth, sir. By using evidence and testimony.
If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness. The owner? Madame Tuspels.
Ugh. I really thought that Lord Von Zieks would object to this whole line of inquiry.
Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Tuspels to appear as a witness, with immediate effect. Listen carefully, my lord friend.
Oh, yes?
You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box.
What do you mean by that?
Court shall adjourn for a 45-minute recess. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand. Madame Tuspels, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Alright. And I think that's the perfect place to wrap up this episode. So next time on the Great Ace Attorney Resolve, we're going to get Madame Tuspels on the stand. And honestly, we're probably going to be getting Dr. Scythe up there soon, too. And then Enoch Trevor is going down.
He's going to jail.
So, as always, if you all enjoyed and want to show some love and support for the series and the channel, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you all in the next episode.
In the next episode.